Hello, everybody. We're back live. Just check everybody can hear me, the producers that are joining me.
Yes, we are.
Oh, fantastic. Good. So let's get on. We've got three fantastic producers with us this afternoon. First up will be Luca from Palazzo Becchia, Montepulciano, Tuscany.
Hello, everybody.
Hello. And then we'll have Julia number 1 from Argile in Orvieto, Umbria.
Hello.
And finish up with Julia number 2 of Pravis on the Trentino Alto Adige. Hello. If you have any questions, please use the chat. Questions are good. Do say hello, where you're from, and let's go straight over to Luca. So here we all are. Here we go. Luca, can you where have you gone?
But you look me or not?
We can hear you. I can't see you suddenly.
Wow.
If you go in and out of the room again.
Okay, enter now.
Just a second, and if we still have the technical hitch, we'll go to Julia Orvieto, Umbria to start. Just see if we get his picture. So Don Juan, good evening. Is that Vietnamese name? Okay, let's go with Julia then first from Umbria. Here we go. Julia, I believe you're making fantastic wines. In fact, I've tasted some of your wines at the workshop that was in Barcelona. Sadly, you couldn't come. We put them on show for everybody, and I thought they're really fantastic white wines that you were making. So perhaps you could tell us a little bit about your philosophy and history, and of course present a couple of your wines.
Thank you, Anthony. I'm very pleased to be with you today. And I want to start my presentation telling you a little bit about our story, our location. We are in Umbria region, and then we will go through the wines, if you use okay. So first of all, I want to start with the story. The company Argile has been founded by my grandfather 20 years ago. He was already a great entrepreneur. He was the founder of one of the major Italian distilleries concerning Thomas, which is called Bonollo. So back 20 years ago, he wanted also to invest in the wine business, and so he decided to start a new venture, and that's how he created Argile. Argile is located in Umbria, in Orvieto. It's a very famous region and very vocated region for the wine production. And the company is located in the northern part of Orvieto, 20 minutes far from the town. Our focus is the white wine production because, as you probably well know, Orvieto is very famous worldwide for the white wines, even though we produce the red wine as well. What is very important for me to show you today and to share with you is our philosophy and identity. And this philosophy and identity is synthesized by our brand name Argile. Argile means clay. I don't know if you can read. It's a Latin name for clay, and we choose this name because the majority of our soil is actually made by clay. And this is very important because this is have an impact in all our activity. Clay soil are very well located, they're very good for wine production, especially if you want to produce quality wines. And this is for several reasons. First of all, they drain the water very well. They tend to stay cooler in summertime compared with other kind of soils. And this works out very well for Umbria, which is very hot regions in summertime. And this is very good aspect if you want to produce fresh white wine. And also, clay calcareous soils tend to produce very little quantity. Consider that our average production per hectare is maximum 70, 75 quintals per hectare, so very little. So as you can see, our soil, our terroir has an impact in all our activity, and we have this influence also in the wine, because the wine have a specific aroma. Normally we have a very broad bouquet, both in the red and in the white wines, and very full body, a lot of structure. And this is because the very low yield, the very low quantity we produce. Of course, if you produce less, you concentrate more. The grapes, concentrate more. So we have more aromas, nutrients concentrated in the grape. So this is very important to know. And this is part of our identity and philosophy. And what is really also important to share with you today, that I really want to share, is that we are not organic and biodynamic, but we are a sustainable company. And our approach towards sustainability is an overall approach. So sustainability doesn't mean just how to treat in the vineyard, if you are dynamic, biodynamic. It's for us what you do in all the activities. So in the cellar, in the choice, for example, of the bottles, in the choice of the paper. So we don't have much time today for talking about this, but if you want, you can go to our website, and there are all our practice shows in our website, or what we do towards sustainability. Talking about the wines, today I'm going to show you 2 of our 7 wines, because in total we produce 7 wines. The majority, as I mentioned, are white wines, because Orvieto is worldwide famous for white wine production. And I'm going to start with the Grechetto. Grechetto is made 100% by Grechetto grapes. Grechetto is the most important white grape of Umbria. It's spread all over Umbria. You can find in the north, in the central Umbria, and even here in the south of Umbria. And it's one of the major components of Orvieto and the Orvieto Classico white wine. For this reason, we wanted to have also Grechetto 100%, because it's our flagship grape. Is the white grape most important in the region. And so we created this white wine. It's a fresh dry white wine entirely made by Grechetto. The fermentation is stainless steel. And we were releasing this wine every year, so normally in March, April. What is very important to know about this grape, and I think it's very interesting also to remember, is that Grechetto is a very versatile grape, and it is because it has a lot of tannins. You know that normally tannins are very common in the red wines. You have a lot of tannins in the red wines and a little bit less in the white wine. In the case of Grechetto, even though it's a white wine, we have a lot of tannins, and this is very good for 2 reasons. The first one is for preserving the wine, for aging the wine. So even though this is the kind of wine that we release every year, it's very good to keep, and it has a beautiful longevity, so it improves over time. And secondly, since it has a lot of tannins, it's very versatile to pair. So you can pair this wine not just with a fish-based cuisine, as normally happens for the white wine, but very good for a meat-based cuisine as well. Talking about the aromas of the wine and the structure, the Grechetto is not an aromatic variety, but in this case, it shows a very elegant nose of jasmine flowers and citrus notes. And in the mouth, we have a beautiful structure with a closure of almond. And this is the typical trademark of the Grechetto. So all the Grechetto has this finish, this closure of a little bit, you feel a little bit of bitterness. And sommelier call it almond taste. This is very good for eating, because while you eat, clean your mouth and prepare your mouth for the second bite. As you can see, the label, we show some shellfish and fossils, because we want to recall our soil, which inside our soil we found a lot of fossils, because it's a very old soil from the Pliocene area. And so this is the reason why we put some shellfish and fossils on the label. The second wine I want to show you, is the Orvieto. Of course, we are inside the Orvieto DOC and Orvieto Classico appellation. Orvieto represents our identity, our story. This wine, it's a blend of 5 grapes. We have inside the Grechetto, of course, Trebbiano, Malvasia, Chardonnay, and Sauvignon Blanc. Why so many grapes? Because since ever Orvieto has been a blend. Since the Etruscans' time, Etruscans have been a population living in the area before the Romans, and they used to produce wine. And it has always been a blend since centuries ago. So we want to record the tradition. So in this case, it's a blend of 5 grapes. It's a dry white wine made entirely in stainless steel tanks. The harvest is entirely made by hand because we like all our wines. The harvest is made entirely by hand because we want to select the grape to carry in the vineyards. Then we have a little bit of cold maceration in contact with the skin for the Sauvignon and the Chardonnay for a best extraction of the aromas. The fermentation, as I mentioned, is stainless steel, and then we bottle the wine and we release the wine in March, April. So it's a fresh white wine. On the nose, it shows the beautiful aromas of citrus, fruits, flowers. I'm very sorry that we can taste today. Normally, I'm used to the tasting with Anthony, in which we meet with the importers and producers, so we can taste and share and discuss. But I can promise that the nose is very interesting nose, broad, very intense. On the palate, the structure is mostly made by Trebbiano and by Grechetto. So again, here we have a full body wine with a closure of almond. The almond closure is typical, as I mentioned, for the Grechetto. And again, we have some quality that already I explained for the Grechetto itself. So this wine is perfect for a fish-based cuisine, but you can pair it also with a meat-based cuisine because of the Grechetto. And again, you can age this wine very well, even though it's a white wine, so normally we prefer to drink it fresh. It's also interesting to see how it evolves over time, because thanks to the Grechetto, we have another support for preserving and aging this wine, let's say.
Okay, good.
So I don't know if time.
I mean, for the tasting, the importers, distributors watching can contact Julia through the website and request a meeting. I'm sure she'd be happy to chat with Menu. We can't taste, but we can see. We've got a video from Julia, which we're going to show now. If I can pull that up. If you could just switch your microphones off, the producers, while we watch the video, because they may produce some interference. So here we go. Okay, great. That was looks the place to be for wine and wine tourism. Actually, we did the international wine tourism in Umbria in 2012, I think, and I think some of the tour operating agents did a trip to the Orvieto region. So some fantastic scenery and fantastic wine.
It is indeed.
Okay, so stay with us, Julia. We're going to go now to a man with the wines, Luca. There you go. Luca from Palazzo Vecchia is going to tell us, I hope, about...
Hello, everybody.
Okay.
Okay. I'm an export manager of our company, is Palazzo Vecchio. My name is Lucas Bernadori. In normal, my English is terrible. Today will be very terrible. Palazzo Vecchio is a family company with a historical production of wine. Found in southeast of Tuscany, in the middle of Val di Chiana, between Montepulciano and Cortona. My father and I work with a production of wine. My sister and my mother work in our restaurant. The origin of Palazzo Vecchio is very old. It was founded by Innocenti family in 3rd century. In fact, have the same name of Palazzo Vecchio in Florence. Palazzo Vecchio is strongly linked to the territory and tradition. The soil is made of tuff, clay, and silt. We have 26 hectares, but we use only 8 hectares for make a wine. We work only with by hand. Is in the top of the hill, and all around we have the vineyard. In fact, this is the map, but you can look the map in our site. Is important because we work with a different altitude, and the grape have a different sun exposure. Normally we produce only red wine, but for the next year we have a new line of production, white and rosé. In the future will be possible we make a sparkling wine with the ancestral method. Today I present 2 wine, Nobile di Montepulciano and Rosso Montepulciano, but I produce another 4 wine, 2 another Nobile, Riserva and Terra Rossa di Cru, and 1 other wine is a DLC of Cortona. Dogana is the youngest classic wine made Palazzo Vecchio, but it will still recognize to the wine made using grape picked mostly from the younger vineyard. The altitude of this grape is 260 meters. This wine stay 1 year in a big oak and 1 year for aging in the bottle. The name is Dogana. Dogana means custom of Palazzo Vecchio. In the past was between the Papa State and the Grand Duchy of Tuscany. The another wine is the color is brilliant red ruby. Is good for the pasta, for finger food, or for the formaggi, the cheese, the young cheese. Another wine is Nobile o Montepulciano. I take this grape around of the hill in the middle of company. Is have the same grape of red wine, quindi 85% of Sangiovese, 5 Mamolo and 10 of Canaiolo Nero. Stay 2 years in a big oak and 1 year for aging. This is a normal traditional Nobile or Montepulciano for our company.
Yes, so Luca, well, there's one question from Marios. I think for the first wine you presented, it is asking, is it 100% Sangiovese?
No, allora, Nobile is 85% of Sangiovese, but the real grape is Prugnolo Gentile, 5 Mammolo, and 10 of Canadiano Nero, and the same of red wine. The difference is this stay 1 year in a big oak and this 2 year in a big oak.
Okay,
and is 28 and 30 hectoliters.
Marios is also asking about the ex-seller price, but you can book a meeting, Marios, with Luca. It's there on the chat and the link.
I have 100%, but use this.
Okay, just click on the link. I'll take you to Luca's profile, and you can shoot him a quick message, and you can chat about ex-seller prices. I think in private, because I think everything's negotiable. So say one.
Oh. Thank you very much.
All right, don't go away, Luca. We want to show, have a look at your beautiful video you sent in. There you go. So again, if I could ask everybody to switch off their microphones while the video is playing, and we don't get any interference. So let's. We can't taste, but we can see. Let's have a look. Great. It's blanking out. Yeah, great. It looks great. That music was really good as well. Was that Snow Patrol by any chance, Luca?
Thanks. I worked in Milan 2 weeks ago, and I take the video with iPhone. Music, I find
Okay. Those just one question. I think somebody asked in private. The vines. How old are they? Those old vines. How old? How many years are they?
the winery, the wines.
No, the vines. Vines.
Wines.
Vines.
Is,
Vines.
1990.
Okay. How old are the vines? How old? In the vineyard.
In the vineyard, depends. Depends 70 year or 35 year, 15 year, depends of the vineyard.
Okay, thank you. Please stay with us. We'll come back to you later with a couple more questions. Let's go now to Julia. Julia number 2, we called her at the beginning, is up in Trentino, and to do the same, talk about philosophy, terroir, and present a couple of her wines. So, Julia, over to you.
Okay, thank you, Anthony, and hello to everybody. I'm Julia from Pravis Winery. Pravis Winery is my family business winery. Was founded in 1974 by my father, and we are located in the Trentino-Alto Adige region, in particular in the Valle dei Laghi, the Lakes Valley. We are located in a beautiful area. Let's say, I obviously say beautiful, but it's actually really beautiful. It's just between the Garda Lake and the Dolomites, so close to Austria, but with the Mediterranean influence of the Garda Lake. For this reason, to give you an idea, we are the only area in the north of Italy, in top north of Italy, which cultivates olive trees, which is usually in Tuscany or in the center part of Italy. We do have about 36 hectares, all small vineyards, because you know the Trentino-Alto Adige area is rich in lakes, in mountains, and the space, the room to cultivate is actually very small. For this reason, our biggest vineyard altogether is about 2 hectares. The rest is just small parts of small different vineyard all around mountains. We do cultivate the grapes from a minimum of 100 meters on the sea level, on the flat area close to the Garda Lake, up to 700 meters up on the hills close to the Dolomites, which is much more suitable for the wine production. Our soil is peculiar. Our soil is dolomia. It's called dolomia and is actually carbonate of calcium and magnesium. This means that it's really rich in minerals, really strong. And this, I mean, unfortunately, you don't have the chance to taste my wines, but you really feel it into the wines. The wines are almost salted. Everything here is done by hand completely, because you know Trentino area is like this, so machine is not easy to use and is almost impossible for security reason. So everything is done by hand. We do have a very low production in the vineyard, from 50 to 70 quintals per hectare, and we do cultivate many different grapes, because what we do, we are a kind of winery that likes to experiment a lot. For this reason, we put the best grapes in the best area. Even if it's just in order to produce 3,000 bottles, we do it, because in that vineyard, we really get a good result of wines. We produce many different labels, up to 20 labels, even more, from the sparkling wine, classical Trento DOC, from Pinot Noir 100%, up to many indigenous grapes, like Müller-Thurgau, Kerner, Riesling, Nosiola, and then international varieties, such as the Pinot Noir, the Gewürztraminer, the Sauvignon, Cab, Merlot, Syrah, many different grapes. Our winery is built inside a hill in order to avoid the environmental impact. It's all covered with vines. So actually today is all green, and in October will be all red, you know, with autumn colors. And this is our way to respect as much as possible our beautiful area. Our wines are all fermented in stainless steel, and mainly all the reds are aged in oak, both French and American oak. What we do is as I said, to get the best from what we have. This means work as much as possible to preserve the natural aromas. Don't use anything like too vanilla oaky or too oaky flavors. We don't want to cover the natural characteristics of the wines. So we really work with the less machine possible, even in the winery. Today, here we have 2 wines. I mean, I have more than 20, but it was a little bit difficult. So the first one is the Sauvignon Blanc. which is cultivated at 500 meters on the sea level on calcareous soil, as I said, the Dolomia soil. This one is fermented in stainless steel after a cold maceration in press machine to extract more aromas, and then it will evolve on the lees until bottling time. This is a wine is one of my favorite because this is really, really rich in aromas. Elderflowers, peach, apricot, and garden herbs. This is really intense that you will remember for the rest of your life after you try it. And it also has a little bit of peppery taste. But the thing that I think is more, how can I say, important about our wines is that they all have, thanks to our soil and thanks to our climate, a very, very long-lasting taste, with this almost salted taste at the end that after one glass you ask for the second one 100%. The second wine is Pinot Nero, because you know that Trentino Alto Adige is a region really vocated for the Pinot Nero production. Pinot Nero, you know, that is not the kind of red wines that wants flat areas, that wants warm climate, but is more a mountain red wine. For this reason, we have it at 600 meters, same soil, so a very, very full soil. Olunguyo is a beautiful vineyard, really impressive. And this, with this, we do a selection of the grapes. So we do about 50 quintals per hectare. We ferment the grapes in stainless steel, and then we age them in tonneau for 1 year. Both French and American tonneau, no toasted, to don't leave any influence of the wood in the wine, but to keep it as much as possible with the natural aromas. And this, I would say, that is a very Burgundy Pinot Noir style. It has blueberries, blackberries, smoky, licorice taste, and this fresh, nice acidity thanks to the altitude that makes this wine really complex.
Okay, very good. So Jimmy from Singapore, but asking privately, what you talk 500, 600? What's the altitude of the highest vineyards?
In my vineyard, 720.
Yeah. Okay, and the grape variety? He's asking.
Is Kerner at 720 is Kerner, which
Right.
is an Austrian variety.
Okay, right. Okay, so let's get everybody back in. So if you have any questions, the audience, please post them before we finish. And I'd just like to give you all a handout. Yes, Julia. No, but which Julia, Artie? Is Julia as in Umbria or as in Trentino? In the meantime, I'm going to post the profiles of the 3 producers we have on the program now. If you look on your right, you'll see files with a red button. So please click there, and you can take away the PDF. If you don't, it doesn't matter. You're going to get an email about 15 minutes after the program where you can click through to the website and where you can request an appointment. So let's go to Julia, and as in Orvieto. Which export markets would you be particularly interested in receiving requests from? Right. Don't switch on your microphone, Mike, if you could. Yes.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me?
I'll do it myself. Okay. If you could say again.
So basically, we are interested in all the markets we are not present yet, but we're looking for importers in Asia, specifically in this time in Asia, in South America, where we're not very present at the moment. And so it depends on, we don't have exclusive contract at the moment. So
okay. Artie is asking, what is your total wine production in bottles?
At the moment, 80,000 bottles.
80,000. Okay. 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 Let's go to Luca. Same question. What
The market that we want to develop is Europe, West Canada, Asia, and South America in general.
Okay. And same question for Julia.
Yeah.
You know,
I put this first.
What happened to? Can you see me?
not at the moment, but I'm sure you'll come up.
No.
I don't know what happened. I didn't touch anything.
Yeah.
Anyway, you can hear me now. Yes. We do produce 180,000 bottles, but shared on more than 20 labels. So actually, we do small production of each, as I said, and we do look for importers in Asia, all Asia, and US, in the states where we don't work at the moment. At the moment, we work in New York State, and California, in US.
Right. Okay. And Art is asking also same question: total wine production in bottles. We can't see you at the moment, but we can hear you.
45,000 bottles.
45,000 for Luca, and Julia seems to have lost you.
I can hear you.
Julia, as in Trentino. No, we've lost her. Okay. Okay, so thank you, Julia. Umbria, thank you. She's coming back, I think. Thank you to Luca for joining us in the program.
Thank you.
And of course, thank you to everybody who's watching live and everybody who's going to watch the replay. You can, of course, contact each of the producers and request a meeting and just to discuss things and so on. Okay, so thank you again.
Thank you.
To the audience. We're sorry we lost Julia right at the end.
No, I don't know.
Are you there, Julia? No,
yeah, I'm here. I don't know why you can't hear me or see me. It's everything on.
Right, we can hear you. So we're just saying farewell.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Next up, we have
Bye.
the Friuli Venezia Giulia second installment. That's coming up at half past the hour, next hour. That will be 3:30. Right? Got this clock on English time. So to see the link at the top, right at the top of your chat box, there's a link. If you click on there, you can access the next session. And we'll see you with Matteo of the Friuli Venezia Giulia region. So see you all then. Bye for now.